And then there were 4. Tonight we got Game 1 of the National Conference Finals of the 2010 Kelly Cup Playoffs. The Stockton Thunder take on the Idaho Steelheads at Quest Arena in Boise. I'm Mike Benton for Thunder Vision with head coach Matt Thomas of the Thunder. And coach, you've been here before, obviously, here in this situation. How does this team compare with the Fresno Falcons of 2006, who got here almost to the threshold of the Kelly Cup Finals, and also your Atlantic City team back in 2003, who won it all?
Well, I think there's a lot of similarities. I think anytime you get this far in a playoff run, you have to have a lot of those similarities. We've got the depth, we've got grit, we've got speed, we've got the goaltending, and everything's clicking right now. Obviously, we're scoring some goals. We've got to do a little bit better job of keeping them out of our net. But again, I think our offense right now is carried us to this point in the postseason. But we all know that we're a good defensive team as well. So I think if you're comparing us to teams in the past that I've been a part of, I think we have all the elements that are needed to win.
Maybe one good thing going for this team as well is the rest period it had between Game 5 and now Game 1 in Boise tonight. During that whole period, how much time do you think for players it needs to essentially let things sink in, knowing that they've won, they've advanced, and now move on?
I think the rest is the biggest factor. I think anytime you get an opportunity to finish a team off in less than the 7-game format, you're really doing yourself a favor. If you looked at last year, we had to win round 1 in 7 games, and then so did Las Vegas. Then we had to play each other, and we went 7 games, having to play 4 games in 5 nights with 3 in a row on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We end up not getting that job done, and Vegas does, but then they're quickly swept out of the playoffs just because the rest that Alaska had in the series previous. So it's certainly something that I think allows you to prepare. It allows you to refocus. We had a good day off, and then a good team building event on Monday, and then a good week of practice leading into Game 1 here tonight.
The numbers are quite staggering when you consider the Thunder record against Idaho and only 2 wins, period. But 2 of those wins came in the last 3 games at Boise, and the last time that these teams faced off against each other. How did that 3-game series in Boise maybe help you get ready for this one tonight?
Well, I think it came after we made some of our changes. If you're really breaking down our regular season, it was the Idaho Steelheads that forced us to make some changes. We couldn't find a way to beat them. We lost a lot of 1-goal games against them, and as a result, our record was real poor. It prompted me to go out and readjust, and I guess more importantly, reevaluate our roster. And we made some changes that obviously put us into a situation where we were one of the hotter teams in the league especially during a 3-month period there in December, January, and most of February. So it allowed us to kind of rethink of the way we needed to play, and I think the guys that came in gave us an opportunity with a new look, and I think you saw the results that we were capable of getting. We went in and we were able to outscore them in 2 games 10-2, and then we also lost a 5-1 game, but I think all in all it gave us that confidence that we know going into Quest Arena that we can beat them. But with that being said, we also know that they're a team that's used to winning, and they're a team that's won a lot of games, so we know it's going to be a tough one.
Both Stockton and Idaho right now are ranked 1 and 2 in the league in offense for the Kelly Cup playoffs. But based on the styles of both teams, can that be misleading when you kind of think about that? If teams might be going to a run and gun type of game?
I think so. Obviously, some of the opponents that we just played different styles as well, but you're also talking about one team that's played 4 games and one team that's played 9. So those numbers always start averaging themselves out. It's like talking about the team that has a great first night of the opening season on the power play, and all of a sudden, oh look, they're 90% on the power play because they maybe went 1-2 for 3 or whatever the percentage would be. So I think you're looking at 2 teams that are obviously very capable of scoring. Both teams, I think, have depth in scoring positions. Both teams have the capability to make you pay. I think both teams are good in transition, and I don't think it's any fluke that we are where we are because in terms of being in the conference finals with having good offenses. And when you're 1 and 2, you're obviously doing some things right, and I think both teams probably feel that they're doing that.
You have J.F. Cadron on your roster, who has won a Kelly Cup. Colin Hemingway, who went to the Kelly Cup finals last season. Matter of fact, to Game 7. How much more valuable does their experience now become?
Well, anytime you start getting deeper in the playoffs, it's really those guys that you got to lean on. Obviously, the younger guys have won championships or played for championships at other levels as well, and like Matt Marquardt with Moncton in the Quebec League, and you just go on. I know Brian Young with Peterborough in the Ontario Hockey League, and I know Anthony Aiello's won a national championship with Boston College. So the list goes on and on. So these guys know what it takes to win. they've been here before, a lot of them in different situations. I think the guys that have been here and got the job done can certainly help other guys understand that there's going to be the ups and downs, and it's kind of like how I equated our second round playoff series against Bakersfield. We've got halfway up the mountain, but we got up the easy half right now. The next climb's the tough one, and with that being said, I think it's a great opportunity for us to learn from this and to continue in the right direction, and more importantly, lean on all the guys that have gotten us here and that have been here before to keep us going in the right direction.
Matt, thanks. Good luck.
Thanks, Mike.
Tonight, Game 1 in Boise. It'll be a Kings Room watch party at Stockton Arena. General admission is $5 and $3 for season ticket holders. I'm Mike Benton for Thunder Vision.